3, we're recording. Hey, welcome back to another episode of these crazy people that just keep eating meat and can't shut up about it. Today I got the usual suspects here. We thought we'd talk a little bit about holiday eating, how people manage to avoid the pitfalls of all those temptations that might go your way. So we'll start with Joe because Christmas hits Australia before the rest of the world, or at least before the United States. So he got through it first. So Joe, what did you eat and what did you have to avoid?
Well, Christmas, it's summer here for us, so we have an abundance of seafood and meat. So typically for us, it's barbecued meat. But then you've got salads and you've got pasta and all that other crap, we'll call it. But look, it's very easy. It's smoked salmon, there's prawns, there's oysters, there's sometimes lobster is on offer. Plenty of steak, sausages. It's quite easy to do it over here.
Well, yeah, because it's grill season for you, right? It's time to bring out the barbecues for your Christmas. So lucky.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys saw the photo. We had a grill. We had a Weber barbecue that was just full of steak. So it was really easy to do it.
Yeah. And you went to your folks' house, lounged around the pool while little servants drop pieces of meat in your mouth.
Well, this year's been really funny. Last year it was so hot and it was just bushfires. This year it's been not so hot, but a lot of rain. So it hasn't been the best weather, but yeah, no swimming pool this year. Decided to stay inside the house and just gorge on ribeyes and smoked salmon and all that kind of stuff, oysters, prawns.
Did you have to turn down any Italian candy or gelato, or did you have to tell them no?
Well, I think what I did was I just made sure I ate enough meat that I wouldn't have any of that stuff. I'd be too full to have the sweets or the gelatos, but this time of the year I typically do a ride called the Rafa 500, so it's 500 kilometers in 8 days. So my focus was to make sure I had plenty of meat and just was able to recover by eating all that, by eating meat. So yeah, it was quite easy to stay on track.
So do you find yourself needing a little extra fat when you're riding that much?
I don't know. I think I'm so adapted at the moment. Last year I was on a higher protein to fat ratio, and this year it's sort of ribeyes, and last year was more ground beef, and this year I'm just much stronger. So I've done up to date in 5 days 317.5 miles. So it's a lot of Ks, a lot of miles.
You're in your second year, right?
Yeah,
right,
a bit more. October was my second year, so yeah, a bit more now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, my second year was definitely my pride year for sure.
Yeah, it's just it's the recovery, man. I keep saying it, it's just the recovery. I mean, people think, when I speak to friends of mine, they probably think I'm so full of shit, but man, it's
right.
Just,
that's what I get. That look.
But it's just, you can just back it up. I've been able to back it up day after day. It's and I'm not going out there doing little what we call fluff rides where you just turn in the pedals. Right. I'm going out there. I'm doing efforts, and I'm pushing myself. But yeah, I think typically, Tom, I have I don't know, 50-50. I had a bit of a ribeye before I left to go on that big ride and some salt water, and that was it.
Beautiful.
There's no secret to it, guys. I keep saying to people, you've got to be patient. Whether it be athletic performance.
Oh, Joe's locking up on us. It's too bad too, because he's just got done telling me how great iPhones were. So, anyways.
Nice.
Well, how about Ray? Ray, what'd you guys have?
So I went to my in-laws, had some yogurt salad, which had some garlic in it, and probably some crushed cucumbers.
You had yogurt salad that had garlic and what?
Yeah, some other, I think crushed cucumbers or something like, I don't know. They put all kinds of crap in it, but I don't know. So, but I had that. I had rib tips, and but the rib tips were dipped in pickle juice. But that was pretty good. But that was it.
So they're like marinated with pickle juice, or they're cooked and then you dip them?
Marinated in pickle juice.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Sounds pretty good.
actually. Yeah.
It does sound good.
I do react to it though, but it was good.
So is that pretty typical for you guys for Christmas dinner?
No, so here's the thing. What's interesting. So my wife's side, my in-laws are Bulgarian, and they said that the day before Christmas, which is when we celebrated over at their house, is actually a vegetarian meal. And I kid you not, most of the stuff they had, except for maybe the bell peppers, was stuffed with meat. If I didn't bring my own meat dish, I wouldn't eat.
What did you bring for yourself, Ray?
Beef tips.
Oh, the beef tips
So
and
it was the
pickle.
beef tips with the pickle juice.
Oh, okay.
So did you buy pickle juice or just pour some pickle juice out?
My daughter loves pickle juice, so I poured the pickle juice in there because I knew everybody else would like it. Of course, they were all tearing up the meat, even though that was their vegetarian fast day. It's a Greek Orthodox thing.
Gotcha.
Right.
Bulgarian Greek Orthodox.
Yeah, Bulgarian Greek Orthodox. Apparently, according to Dunja, MeatRx person, she's Serbian, and they do the same thing, and they have that fast and everything. So apparently, they have a 40-day fast, what they call fast, but really it's just you don't eat that much meat. That's their fast, which I think they'd be better off just fasting. And then they would kill a pig, or actually, yeah, that's what they'd say. They said they slaughtered a pig the day before Christmas. So it's a little bit on the pagan / Orthodox, you slaughtered a pig. Oh, we did slaughter 4 chickens that day also.
At home?
So at home. So there goes all our chickens. We only have 2 left now. So the rooster and a small hen. They're not worth eating, so we didn't.
They weren't worth eating.
Yeah, they're tiny. I mean, they're tiny.
Oh, I just slaughter them.
No. The others were not. The last 2 that's left are like mini chickens. So we didn't
so
slaughter.
you ate the ones you slaughtered.
Right.
Hey, are you saying you have a little rooster?
Yes, I have a little rooster. Right.
How long does it take to pluck a chicken?
Pluck it? Oh my gosh, that was actually a lot easier than I thought. So you dip it in boiling water and for about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And then that feather just peels right off. Very easy. And
you dispatch these poor creatures humanely, I take it?
If you count cracking their necks by spinning them, in a merry-go-round fashion, humane, sure.
Pretty quick, right?
It was quick. I mean, they probably suffered once their neck cracked, you could tell they were instantly dead. Their bodies flailed, but you could tell they were instantly dead. So, but the actual spinning around kind of gave them a little ride, but they didn't know what was going on. We covered their face. So that's something about chickens. For some reason, if they can't see, then they feel they calm down. So, and then I just spun it until the next step. I know it doesn't sound great, but hey.
I don't know. Would it take a couple seconds to kill him?
Yeah, exactly. It was literally, at the most it was maybe 10 seconds. Yeah.
We should have put a trigger warning for the vegans before we start this one.
Don't flame me, vegans, please.
It's gonna be demonetized this video, that's for sure.
Send all your hate mail to Raymond Nazon.
Yes.
But if you want snappier responses, just send them to Joe will have plenty of 4-letter expletives.
Right.
So who eats all these chickens? Do you guys have to eat them all on that day, or do you have like a bunch of chicken in your fridge?
we gave the 2 to the 3 to the family. I'm sorry, we killed 5 that day, I guess. Might have been 5 or 6. I lost count after a while.
That's a genocide, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, my wife was like, well, so they're spent chickens, right? They're spent chickens, so they don't lay eggs anymore.
Mm.
So we kept them alive for a while, and she's like, why am I spending? And then they ran out of food. She's like, why am I spending all of that extra money? We're talking about a couple $100 worth of food.
Oh, really?
So the choice is kill them, eat them, or spend a couple hundred on them not producing anything. They're not pets. You know what I mean? So why are we going to spend a couple hundred on these creatures that are not benefiting us, right? I mean, logically, if you take out all the emotions about life and all that kind of stuff, they're not pets. We're not petting them. We don't, our kids aren't going and interacting with them in any ways. So
you're not sitting on your lap while you're watching TV, right?
Exactly. They're not doing any of that. So it's not like they give me massages or anything like that either. So I mean, what is their purpose at that point, right?
So your chickens aren't giving you massages.
Right, exactly. So.
I actually have a funny story about a pet chicken. So I have a friend that's from China, and she was telling me a story about how her parents bought a chicken for her. I don't know, she's like 9 or something, but they realized it lay eggs. Like they left it in the bathroom, and I guess it started laying eggs, and then it stopped laying eggs. And then so her parents were going to kill it to eat it. You know what I mean? But then she's like, no, he's my pet. He's my friend. And so then they let like the chicken be her pet. And so she would literally put a leash on the chicken, take the chicken out for walks. When they were watching TV, the chicken would come up and snuggle up on them on the couch. Yeah, so it was like, that's so interesting because, over here we think of like salmonella, like all this like, oh, you're going to get sick and all this stuff. But like, I guess all that is BS because she kept a chicken as a pet for a couple of years or whatever, and none of them got sick. So I don't know.
Honestly, chickens are actually very, very nice creatures. I mean, you can pick them up and pet them and everything. So yeah, there's no problems with that.
But you hear that you'll get sick from like I don't know. Yeah.
Another fear of meat. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're more likely to get salmonella probably handling frogs or something like that than you are chickens. So,
which I can dispel that because I had a number of years where I had a pet turtle, and I would pet my turtle. I know it's funny, but like, no, I would play with my turtle, and I was a stupid kid. I was like 9 or whatever. When you're a boy, you don't wash your hands all the time. I never caught anything.
By the way, playing with your turtle.
I stroked my turtle.
Justin stroking his turtle.
Raymond slaughtered his cock.
Wow, we took a good turn on this video.
This is how we get our views and make our money. This talk. This is the kind of quality that our fans have come to expect, actually.
Probably so.
Oh, Emily, we're here. She'd say something like, "What are you guys, 11?"
11 turning 10.
Yeah.
Right.
That's funny.
Once 11, always 11.
So, I mean, were you craving more beef then the whole time? Or are you fine with just eating chicken that day? Like, what were you?
So let's put it this way. I had chicken and beef. How about that? I just could not have the chicken enough. I was like, I mean, it tasted fine, but I was like, I don't like chicken that much. And it does. Yeah. And being spent hens, so they're a little bit they're like turkey tasting. So I really didn't like that. They're really dry. They had a very strong flavor, which is very interesting. But again, they lived with us for 4 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
these are 4-year-old chickens, they're totally spent. Oh, but they have the beautifulest, prettiest yellow fat on them too. So
what were you feeding them?
Oh, just pretty much what we went to Tractor Supply and bought some chicken feed. So organic, but it was a mixture, sunflower seeds. They had a mixture of protein and some other crap, grain-based, soy-free. And we had some kind of clamshell to make their eggs harder, stuff like that.
You didn't feed them any scraps like chicken bones and stuff like that?
Yeah, we gave him scraps, chicken bones. No, we gave him scraps like leftover fat, like cow fat. We tried not to feed them their own species. Let's put it that way. Bones, stuff like that. Boy, they would tear up. They would tear up any type of animal product that they could get. They loved it.
Chickens are little terrorists. I mean, they eat everything. They'll eat a possum. They'll eat rats. They'll eat bugs.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They come across a dead cat. Well, look out.
Yeah. Speaking of cat, so our cats would kill little moles, and we just toss them in there for the chickens, and man, they would go at it, like it was Christmas for them. It's crazy.
Yeah. If you want to get rid of something small, just feed it to the chickens.
No kidding.
Get rid of something big, just feed it to the hogs.
There you go. That's it. That'll do it.
And scavengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, scavengers. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you, Tom? Maybe Tom more than Ray, but have you ever had wild hen? I heard that's supposed to be really good, and it has like a really interesting flavor.
Probably very gamey tasting, I'll bet.
I had grouse or something like that one time, and I've had pheasant and dove. Dove hunting is actually fairly popular here because you don't have to go that far to do it, but they're so freaking small. It's like, it doesn't seem worth the trouble to clean them and eat them to me, so I never really caught on to that. Pheasants sometimes, although one time we went pheasant hunting, are they pheasants or quails? I can't remember now. I think they're actually mountain quails. They're quite big, and we couldn't kill these things to save our lives. We would see one, and you'd hit it, drill it with a shotgun, knock it out of the sky. It would hit the ground. You start walking over there, and the thing would jump up and take off. And you're like, these things made out of Kevlar or something? We couldn't figure out what was going on. So I don't know if those suckers just flew off and died somewhere else, but we would flat out knock them out of the sky and they hit the ground and take off. So needless to say, we didn't get to eat very many of those. So yeah, there's, it's you can go hunting here, but you really got to go somewhere unless you would. The one exception to that is the wild pig. So haven't done as much of that hunting as I thought I was going to do because of COVID-19 and stuff like that. But hopefully we'll be trying some of that wild bacon pretty soon.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I had wild pig before. It's not bad.
Yeah, we got plenty of wild pigs running around. You won't believe it. Like you could walk there from my house. Like you would literally just walk through house after house after house after house. I mean, I live in a city that's just, I don't know, how the 100,000 houses here or something. And the pigs live right among us.
Dude, that's awesome.
Wow.
Damn, that's like free food. Holy cow.
Yeah. And they destroy the golf courses, parks. They attack animals. They get in fights with dogs and tear up the dogs. And then, of course, the mountain lions follow them around, and then the mountain lions attack horses and stuff like that.
Right. So they're a menace.
They're a menace. Yeah, they're an invasive species that's been in California for at least 300 years. I believe that they originated with the original Russian and Spanish immigrants that settled quite a bit north of here. And the ones that I've caught on the trail cams, they look exactly like Russian boars. They have long black coats, they're real dark, almost all dark. It's funny because I see, Texas has a terrible problem of with wild pigs, and you see those pigs and they're all different colors. Some of them are like patchwork looking, some are orange and brown, and these pigs, every one of these just about as black as could be, and they're kind of a little on the shaggy side. So they seem like they're all Russian boar or something that looks like a Russian boar. So
well, yeah, isn't there that thing though that like pigs, like you let a pig out and within like a year they're full on like wild, like they get like thicker hair, tusks and everything from domestic to wild. Like that's crazy how quickly their genes change, like they shift.
Yeah, genetics, they just respond to their environment. Yeah, so but they generally kind of stay the same color. If you see some of the footage of like the wild Texas hogs, you'll see what I'm talking about. Like one sounder, like a big family, they'll be all different colors and they clearly mixed, right? And these look like more or less purebred black hogs. So, but yeah, they grow tusks. They have tusks and everything, that are quite sharp, quite scary looking. You definitely don't want to get cornered by one of them because they'll ram you in the legs or the groin and mess you up really bad. So
they get quite big over there.
Yeah, so like a real big one is probably like 100 kilos or more.
Wow.
So when they run around in families, they'll be usually depends. Most of the sounders we see are like 6-8 pigs at the most. In Texas, you see much bigger groups of them, but there'll be a couple of big ones in there. Usually the males leave after a year or two, and they're kind of solitary. So if you see a big pig by itself, it's probably a male. It's probably very aggressive. Of course, the full-grown females they're nothing to be trifled with either. They're very capable at fighting. So they injure people all the time. In fact, that's the problems they have in Texas. Occasionally they kill innocent people in their front yard, because they run into you, they hit you in like the femoral artery or something. You're going to bleed out in a matter of minutes. You probably never even make it to the house. So there was a lady that died maybe a year or two ago in her front yard. Wild boar got her. So
in her front yard, how unlucky is that?
In the driveway. Yeah.
Oh God.
So fortunately, it doesn't happen a lot, but they are dangerous, and they do attack livestock and pets, and they do a lot in Texas. They do a lot of agricultural damage. So like in the hundreds of millions of dollars in destroyed crops, because they're just
same here.
Oh yeah, a wild pig problem there too.
Oh yeah, but we got wild pigs. I'll have to show you a bit later on, but wild pigs that look like bears. They're massive. Like they're really, really big. Like if you shoot one of those, you make a mistake, run.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're really big. They're really, really big. Yeah.
We get some really, really big ones sometimes that make the news. Like there's one they called Hogzilla, and he weighed in at like 1,200 pounds or something. So
oh my God.
He's like over 600 kilos.
Yeah.
So they can get like to be a bear size. You don't have any actual bears in Australia though, do you?
No. The only bears we had were a football team. That was it. North Sydney Bears, but
well, you have extinct. You have drop bears.
Drop bears.
Yeah, koalas. Drop bears.
Oh, we do. Oh, yeah, koala bears. Yeah, well, there you go. We do. Yeah, it's probably the only thing we've got. But no, we don't have bears here. We've just got a lot of snakes and spiders and sharks and all that shit.
So have you ever seen a wild boar fight a shark?
Not yet. Not yet.
Set that up.
We've got lots of crocodiles here as well, but they're further north.
There you go.
Yeah.
Crocodile versus wild boar.
Some big ones too.
Saltwater crocs.
I'm sure there would be some footage of crocs versus wild pigs, especially up Northern Territory.
Could be.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, there would be for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really don't see the pig winning out on that one. Just gonna throw that out there.
What's the pig going to do to that truck? Yeah,
that's a size issue, you know. Yeah, because I mean, crocodiles obviously get a lot longer than the pig does. It's that if the crocodile pulls the pig into the water and rolls it underwater, it's game over.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah, drown the thing. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good meal for the crocodile, though. I probably won't have to eat for the next year.
That's the beauty of being a croc, right? You can stuff yourself with a pig and chill out for
done. Yeah, for a while. Mm-hmm.
You can pig out.
Nice.
So what'd you eat for the holidays, Justin?
Yeah, so my big holiday achievement is cooking duck for the first time, roasting my duck.
Did you bring any photos of your duck that you wanted to share?
Well, it's in the chat. I only have like that one photo. But if you want to screen share my picture of my duck.
How was it? What'd you think?
It's okay. Very similar to you, Ray. Like, I don't really enjoy fowl that much anymore. Like when before carnivore, I was all about chicken,
Same.
like, oh yeah, chicken. And I don't know, maybe it's more psychological. Like I really didn't eat steak. Like I really didn't eat steak until carnivore, and now like
it was ground beef, but never steak. Yeah.
Right. Hamburger patty, so it's ground beef and stuff like that. I thought steak was for the posh, for the elite, or for the class. You know what I mean? I never thought, because before awakening to carnivore, you don't think of steak or meat as nutritious. You think of it as oh, you have steak, but you got your taters and stuff. There we go. There's my quacker, my duck.
Quacker, like Giebler.
Yeah. I mean, again, first time, so I made a couple mistakes. The skin is great. The skin,
a little bit. Yeah.
The skin came out really, really crispy. That was good. Nice. As far as the taste, it just tastes like a more tender, greasy chicken. This is the best way I can describe it.
So KFC.
I don't know. I feel like I have to eat more of it. It's not bad. I mean, it's okay. It's just like what Ray was talking about, once you get into really eating beef, being carnivore, eating steaks regularly, like my duck needs a side of ribeye, like for real,
Right.
And as far as, I feel like I still like turkey better, but maybe I need someone to cook a better duck. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, it was okay. I like turkey, a nice drumstick and some dark meat. I'm all about the dark meat. I can do a whole plate full of turkey. And if you go on my Instagram at alloutlife.carnivore, you can see my plates of turkey. I think I've eaten 3 turkeys in the last month. And so I actually rather enjoy turkey, but duck, it was all right. It's pretty good. I still have some. I'm still going to chomp down on that probably after this video, have some of that duck, but it's fun. It's a thing to cook. Why not? Other than that, I had steak and eggs last night because I was craving the steak, and the thing about the holidays and being carnivore, and you have this message and it reigns true of like, food is not fun, food is nutrition. So there's no, in my mind, there's no, oh, it's the holidays, I'm going to make this or that because it's a special time or whatever. And maybe it's because I'm a single male that's kind of bah humbug about the holidays. Christmas is for kids, and so it's, it's like, I see no reason to step away from my normal, what I don't eat every day. You know what I mean? I get the same amount of pleasure from T-bone ribeye in New York on Christmas as I do any other day, Right. And that's the beautiful thing about carnivore though, is that you get to eat your favorite thing every day.
Yes.
Eating the steak, eating a ribeye, eating a fatty New York isn't a chore. It's not a drag, it's a joy. It's a true joy. And so it's like, well, if Christmas or whatever the holiday is supposed to be like, eat what you enjoy, well, then I'm going to eat what I eat every day. You know what I mean? The only exception or the only side thing I had is I ate, some chocolate of the Mammoth ice cream. That was my treat. That was my
Technically,
extra.
it's custard, right?
Right. It's a custard,
Yeah.
but it's practically ice cream.
It's egg yolk and cream, right?
Yeah, egg yolk and cream, with a bit of xylitol and monk fruit or whatever. But I don't react to it, which is amazing. Which is why I eat it. Obviously, if I reacted to it, I would not eat it. But damn. So the night before, because my brother has kids, so the night before Christmas, my brother did bake chocolate chip cookies, and I don't care how long you've been carnivore, the smell of fresh baked chocolate chip cookies is still okay. Ray's shaking his head. Okay.
Don't do it for me.
The smell though is like, ooh, but throughout the house, like that is tempting. I was like, all right, I'm locking myself away. Not saying I would have done it, but if there was ever a time, like, and yeah, it was like a fresh chocolate chip cookie, you still remember it, still fresh.
I remember it. Yeah. But like I said, it does not smell appealing. It just smells, I mean, it's not unpleasant, but it's not something I would eat. It smells like you light a candle kind of thing. That's what it smells like to me now.
Well, all this fancy cooking is really all about making our food taste like something else, right?
That's it. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Chocolate chip cookie is an amalgamation of all kinds of weird shit. It's like flour and butter,
eggs
and chocolate, and I don't know, what do you sugar, baking powder,
sugar, maybe a pinch of salt. It's got everything in it.
It's not like a real food.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, I was gonna show some pictures, stuff I've been eating. December's like a big month for me because it's my birthday's in early December. And so I've been living it up. I've been getting tips from my buddy. I got this buddy who lives in Australia. He's a chef. So
ooh, look at that beauty.
Oh wow, look at those.
Nice.
Yeah,
those tails.
I ate some lobster, is not, I mean, it seems like it's crazy expensive, but just buying a small tail or two once in a while really isn't that bad.
$25 a pound. That's expensive to me.
If you cook them at home, it's not like going out to eat where it costs you a fortune. So that's a nice thing to do for special occasions, right? Your birthday, maybe Christmas.
And they're easy to cook. I mean, they're just wicked easy.
So
there's so many ways you can cook them.
We just boil them in salt water for like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
This is Flying Dutchman. This might actually, I think this is from In-N-Out. Somebody brought me this for my birthday at work.
Are those 2 patties each? So
yeah,
that's 6?
two patties. This actually has grilled onions because, that's what's special about In-N-Out is their grilled onions are amazing.
Wow.
So that was my birthday lunch at work. I think my coworkers think our bookkeeper, Marissa, bought that for me. She was real thoughtful. And here's a typical steak. I think this was a strip. It's not a really great photo. It's kind of half out of focus. This is what I did for Thanksgiving. I was at a forced family function. I like this.
That looks like turkey.
It is turkey.
Oh,
it was Thanksgiving, and I put some butter on it because it was dry. And I don't eat.
Ooh,
turkey's frequently dry, right? Even the oyster part.
No matter what.
So I just threw some butter on it because I'm not gonna eat the gravy because the gravy's all, got a bunch of cornstarch and stuff in it. So probably not gonna go good for me. But so there you go. The ribeye roasts are on sale this time of year.
Where?
Like we can go to a supermarket. There's one supermarket that pretty popular for meat called Stater Brothers here in California, and this time of year you could get this for $4.99 a pound.
Wow, that's cheap.
That's cheap.
Oh yeah.
$4.99 a pound. That's a steal.
Now this is my, I like oysters, and I bought them several different ways recently. These were whole oysters I got at Wenco. They were $1 a piece. Couple of them were almost impervious. They're like completely grown over. Like this one here, there was like no place to get a knife in. Like you couldn't see an opening anywhere.
Oh my gosh.
So I just hit it with a sledgehammer, cracked it open, and it was there you go. So I've been eating oysters, and the thing about oysters is they're really rich in zinc. So, if you want to hedge your bet against COVID-19, you want to keep your immune system up, it's maybe not a bad idea to eat some oysters. I also get oysters in a jar. They're already shelled now. And they're not that expensive. So I'll show you some of those in here too. This is a rib eyes with a little bit of butter on top, and Justin and I got
cheese.
That's just butter.
Oh, butter. Okay.
Yeah. So we have these they look like toaster ovens, but they have a fan in them, so they're a convection oven, and they go to like 450 degrees. So you could throw in some rib eyes. You got to preheat it, but once they're in there, they cook in like, it depends on the size, but anywhere from about 7 to 10 minutes. You got some really nicely cooked. Here they are, where they're just starting to melt the butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of times I cut the rib off the ribeye roast and eat it separately. Especially since a lot of the time I take the steak to work to eat. I cook it and cut it up before I go to work, because it's too big of a pain in the butt to be sawing up a steak in the office. So I just cut them off the bone and eat them separate. So there you go. This came out of the air fryer. I've been experimenting with glass pans versus metal pans and stuff like that. So this one I cooked in Pyrex, but you can see how nice they come out. And here's some oysters. I was hitting up Joe, that guy I know that lives in Australia, that's a chef, and he's like, oh, why don't you put it in some butter? And I was like, all right, I'll put it in some butter. So butter. I cooked them up. I cooked a batch of oysters up. These are actually the oysters that come in a jar. So there you are, strain. Oh, I don't know where that came from. But I thought I had some more pictures of that. But anyways, yeah. So I've been eating lobsters and oysters and ribeyes and shrimp. I'll buy like one of those big bags of frozen shrimp and eat that. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's not a lot of fat in there, but you might want to supplement a little fat. I had pictures of fat too, because I've got beef fat as well. And I've been eating a lot of jerky. I've been making jerky. Everybody loves jerky, right? And it's like the holidays. Like when I go somewhere, I just take a big bag of jerky with me, and everybody enjoys it. I took it to Christmas and put it out, and everybody was eating the jerky and like, oh wow, this homemade is great. I've been using these thick cuts of bottom. I think it's bottom round. So it's already sliced. So I just cut it into strips. Put a little salt on it, throw it in the dehydrator. I got a dehydrator that does about 10 pounds of meat at a time. And the sticker cuts, I usually let them run like 13, 14 hours at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And they come out nice, and they're still sort of pliable, because it's thick meat and it's not super dry.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes put a little chili powder on. My buddy Aaron loves the chili powder on there. So he eats it until his jaw is sore for a couple days. And then when all that chili powder starts coming out the other end, then his butt hurts for a while. So I get him coming.
Shoots flames.
So,
flamethrower.
I call it the Aaron trap. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
now I've been giving out jerky, and then I dry a lot of liver for all my friends that have pets because the dehydrated liver is a great treat for the pets. They love it. It's a nutritious snack. Won't put the pounds on them. Of course, liver is very lean, but it's got a lot of vitamins in it. So, of course, people can eat it too, but most people don't like liver. So, it mostly goes to cats and dogs. But
Yeah.
but Justin and I've ground it up, put it in the pemmican too, and it's fantastic that way. So I ate a ribeye before I went to Christmas dinner, and Christmas dinner is like a long day of sitting around chit chatting, and then they bust out a ham, and of course there's like scalloped potatoes and some sort of funky salad, and then of course there's candy and stuff sitting around, and I didn't miss any of it. I didn't so much. It's not unusual for me to like, oh, there's an almond, I'll have an almond or whatever, because you figure an almond or a cashew or even a half dozen of them, a couple times a year, it's not really gonna bother most people. And I'd say I don't think it ever created a problem for me, but I didn't even eat that much off the menu this time. Nothing. So just water and ham. That's all I had the whole time I was there. But then by the time we left, I was hungry. So I was like,
Oh, bad.
I saw my girlfriend. I was like, she's like, well, let's just go. We went through a drive-through. There was, drive-through restaurants were open even on
It's
Christmas.
the American way.
Spent $9.42 on a lettuce wrap double cheeseburger at Carl's Jr. I couldn't believe how expensive it was. It was called like the double Angus or something, the super
Oh
Angus.
yeah, I got that the other day, and I added an extra patty, so mine was like $14.
It was good. It was good.
With the bacon. Yeah.
Yeah, bacon and Angus beef and cheese, and I got it with no dressing or mayo or just the lettuce wrap, no other vegetables, and it was a teeny bit dry without mayo or dressing, but it wasn't bad. I actually enjoyed it because I was good and hungry. So I'll do that like when I'm gonna go somewhere and I know like there's probably not gonna be a lot to eat. I brought jerky, so I had some jerky while I was there. I ate the ham. I ate a ribeye before I went, and then I ate a hamburger on the way home, and that was that for Christmas. So even when I was just doing keto, I was like, if I was really hungry and I knew when I got there, it's going to be pie and cookies and, crap like that and chips everywhere. Sometimes I'd even just stop at the store and grab a pint of cream and slam some cream,
Yeah.
I don't do that
Justin.
anymore. But I've done it, and I'd say that's better than eating chips and cookies,
Oh, of course. Heck yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think jerky is the way to go, especially these days. You don't know. Like we all went through that thing where meat was difficult to get, right? Meat supplies are all screwed up. So right now meat's plentiful. The prices are back down. So I'm like, every time I go someplace like Sam's Club where you can buy a big tray of sliced meat, I just bring it home, cut it into strips, throw it in the dehydrator right away. I don't mess around. Make it as quick as possible, and then I just stockpile as much of it as I can because everybody enjoys it. And if there is we go through another period where meat's hard to get or the prices go through the roof, don't worry about it. I got a few ribeyes in the freezer and I got tons of jerky. So
there you go.
So that's that. So you guys got anything else to throw in on holiday eating?
Holiday tip for any new beginners. What I suggest, most people want to cheat with something, especially like their first year in or so, or their first few months. Eat your meats first. Get full on the meats. Then you can do whatever from there.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I just want to add, don't beat yourself up. So I have a sister that's carnivore, and she went off carnivore for the month of December, for the holidays and stuff like that. But she's like, you know what? I'm going back to carnivore. And she said, I can't wait to eat pure carnivore again. And, for her, it's more than just eating. A lot of people do love to bake, and so she's a baker. She loves to bake and cook. And so making sugar cookies, holiday cookies, all that kind of stuff. It's art. It's fun. I get all that, and if you got to get that out of your system, go for it. Try not to eat too many of your own baked goods, give them out or whatever, I guess. Some people feel weird about that because it's bad, but you give it out. But whatever, that's your own internal conflict if you have it. But she said, I can't wait to get back on carnivore, so she's going to hop right back on there, and she's, I want to say 7-8 months in, something like that, I was impressed with my mom. My mom stayed carnivore, except she's stuck on these, well, not stuck on, it's not that bad, these keto coffees from the grocery store. They have MCT, cacao, and the coffee, so she loves those. And whenever she has one, I walk by her and take a sip because it actually is really good, So, we all, you still have fun sometimes. Just don't beat yourself up. Get right back on carnivore. If you fell down the carb hole, it's all right. Just hit it again. Start with if you've done it once, if you're able to stick to carnivore for a couple months or whatever, then you can hop right back on it. I believe in you. You can do it. It's right. Just do it. Just put your mind to it again. Get a coach if you need a coach. Obviously, any of us meet our ex or not meet our ex, you know where to find us. And so, we're always here to help out and stuff like that as well. So, we're, what we do, I mean, we've been in this for a little while. And so, the holidays are really not that big of a struggle for any of us. This is my second carnivore Christmas holiday season. And, it's all about prepared, where you're going, who you're going to be around, what it's going to be like. And so, if you got to carry some bacon and hamburger patties in your purse or in your pocket or in a bag, nothing wrong with that, or some jerky, bring some jerky, and if that you might slip after having a couple of drinks of alcohol, just prepare, like I said, bring extra hamburger patties, bring a steak. So last year, what I did is I stayed ultra strict because I didn't know about Mammoth ice cream or anything. And I literally brought, ribeyes over to my sister's house, and they were all eating, all this and that, the typical. And I had a mad fat ribeye, and so I was happy. I think I brought 2 just in case eating one didn't fill me up. Or if someone wanted a ribeye, you can always do that. So you're not eating alone. Be like, hey, anyone want a steak? It's usually pretty hard for people to say no to a medium rare steak. You can sucker other people in that way, just a few things.
Yeah. And like I was saying, eating turkey and it's dry. It's like, well, just throw some butter on it. And, that's a good trick, the butter trick, because the fat is satiating. Yes. So if there's not a lot to eat or it's really dry, and of course, if you can stick to fattier meats or, if they're just eating turkey or chicken or duck, you stick to the darker meats, it tend to be more satisfying. So that's a good trick to get through the holidays too. All right. Well, Joe's back. Hey, anything else?
I got Wi-Fi issues here today.
So it didn't have anything to do with Apple products, huh?
No, definitely not. Apple's so much better than Android.
You said so.
No, look, I think you guys pretty much covered everything as far as tips and, yeah. But I do want to ask you, Tom, on your turkey, was that like just a block of butter?
Was it a block of butter?
It was it, or did you actually like melt the butter and then just pour it on top of the
No, I mean, this was at my stepbrother's house, and it's just kind of
Okay.
buffet style, right? So I'm just like looking. It's like all there is turkey, and I'm like, ooh, looking at the gravy, going, yeah, I'm not gonna eat that gravy, and I just chopped a couple of pieces of butter off this. There's a stick of butter on a plate, you know.
Okay.
Kind of solid. So I just kind of mashed it in on, you know, kind of spread it with my fork on the turkey and ate it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I mean that's just getting by in the holidays, you know. So the traditional Thanksgiving meal here is like mashed potatoes, some kind of stuffing made out of bread, some kind of casserole made out of green beans, you know,
Hawaiian sweet rolls.
perhaps some Hawaiian sweet rolls,
Wow.
cranberry sauce. Do you have cranberry sauce over there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We think I'm from another planet. You think I'm from another planet?
Well, I didn't know there was such a thing. Turkey and cranberry sauce for Australians.
Yeah. Turkey's not very. Look, Turkey's not very big over here.
Kangaroos? I'm just kidding.
Well, it's more popular than kangaroo, but yeah, I mean, it's as I said, it's typically Christmas is just seafood, a lot of seafood.
Seafood, okay, right, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense because of the weather, yeah.
And you don't have an equivalent to Thanksgiving, right?
No, zero, nothing. I think some people here try to celebrate the American Thanksgiving, but they got no idea what's going on. they just want to take the day off. But yeah, no, we don't have anything. Not at all.
Cool.
Do you guys have a winter celebration of any kind where you guys just do a big dinner just because or anything?
We typically celebrate the last day of winter because we thank God that it's over. You know, it's because it's been a pain in the ass. It's been really cold here. No. There's no celebration of all. Look, the only thing we celebrate here is Christmas, New Year's, Australia Day.
Australia Day.
Okay.
Yeah. Boxing Day. Yeah. Then we have our birthdays. Then we have Easter, and then we celebrate the Queen's birthday. Now, no one really knows when the Queen's birthday is. No one really cares. I mean, to everyone, it's more like, okay, I'm just going to get a day off and have a bit of a piss up. So, you know.
What language is that? You said
piss up.
You piss up.
Piss up. Get drunk.
Well, we'll certainly have to celebrate Australia Day when
let us know when
let us know when it is. Yeah, and we will join you in celebration of Australia Day.
In a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's coming up. All right.
Cool.
January.
Awesome.
January 26th, nice. I think it is.
So all your big national holidays are crammed into like a month period.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow, that kind of sucks. At least ours are spread out.
It's interesting because, you know, Christmas used to be illegal.
In Australia?
No, in the United States. And it had been banned in like Great Britain and stuff too, because Christmas was rebranded pagan holiday, right? And it was all about drinking, debauchery, orgies, drugs.
Christmas prostitute. Oh yeah. What happened? I want to go back to that time. We're so lame now.
It still does. It's still people still celebrate that. Still do the same thing here, Tom. Prostitutes.
Yeah. So it was, you know, it's originally I think the holiday was called Saturnalia. It was kind of the Saturn-centric winter solstice celebration, you know. And so, I mean, if you look in the Bible, Jesus was born in like different time of the year, so we don't really pretend to know when his birthday was. It just kind of co-opted a pagan holiday, you know?
Obviously not winter, because they would have like froze to death in the stable.
Well, it was the Middle East. It might have been a little warmer there, but who knows?
Yeah, they don't have a winter over there.
And then like there was a revival by like some Christian organization that tried to get kids to go to church, and they started promoting Christmas and tried to make it like, brought in like candy and treats to entice children to go to church. And that's like how Christmas became popular. So like we think about like people have always celebrated Christmas, but it hasn't really been the case. Like it's different than it was, it used to be. So it's kind of interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to point out that Santa Claus actually started out as Odin.
Right.
That's right.
Odin used to ride through the sky on an 8-legged horse rather than 8 little reindeer,
He was an evil, scary actually.
But yeah, he used to decide who was going to live or die.
Right, exactly.
Depth of winter.
Right.
So, yeah. So anyway.
Have you heard about the new reindeer controversy?
No.
That it's like sexist that they have boy names because
here we go.
Because male reindeer, I guess, lose their antlers in the winter or whatever. Yeah. But females keep them.
Oh.
So the idea is that, they have to be female reindeer because they've kept their antlers.
Interesting.
But then someone chimed in and said that, well, if you castrate the reindeer before like the time that the antlers fall off, then they'll keep them. So I don't know. It's ridiculous, but that's I guess what's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson commented the original comment that they should be female reindeer named after female names because they still have their antlers. But anyway,
I think people have got too much time on their hands.
Well,
they need to go find a job or something.
Kidding, right?
The other angle on the reindeer is, and of course Santa and his red coat and coming down the chimney, is that's all sort of a shamanistic tradition that the shaman wear those long coats with the fur around the edge, and used to bring people Amanita muscaria, which is a sacred mushroom which just happens to grow under pine trees, and it's red and white and looks like a lot like how we decorate Christmas trees, right? Because they would actually pick the mushrooms and hang them in the trees to dry, and then the shaman would bring them to people, especially in the long winter, to help them stave off the depression of the long winter. And they used to come down the chimney because the houses were all snowed in, and they often the reindeer love to eat these mushrooms, and if you drink the urine of the reindeer, you get a more concentrated version of the mushrooms magical chemistry. So yeah, there's a long history of just that sort of amalgamation of the pagan world going Christian, and then a lot of that symbology is still there, So, you still see Yule logs associated with Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And Odin is the Yule father, right? The All Father. Mm-hmm. They used to drag a log in and burn it in the Great Hall, and as long as that log burned, which was for days, they would party, right? So that's where all that comes from. So next time you hear a song where they're talking about Yule time, whatever it is, or whatever, it all goes back to that, magic mushrooms, shaman, reindeer, Odin. 8-legged horses, partying through the winter solstice, and I'm sure they ate lots of meat.
There we go. Of course.
Hey, Vikings, come on now.
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. Shall we wrap her up, or should we get crazier?
In a present. We wrapped it in a present with an Odin sticker on it.
There you go. All right, then. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Don't forget to leave us a comment, like it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell. See the show notes for more information.
And bug Kelly Hodigan because I'm wearing her shirt to come on our show. Just send her comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Tell Kelly we're gonna reach out to her.
There you go.
Wonderful. So now, till next time, everybody eat some meat, feel better. Whatever you do,
don't fall down the cobble.